Hi, I'm Tracy, VE3TWM. Thank you for tuning in to Outdoors on the Air. Well, I thought I'd do a quick video showing you how I pack my Yaesu FT-817ND, and of course, you know, the 817ND is pretty much the same as the 817, which preceded it, and the 818, which came afterwards. So what I've got here is a 35-liter backpack. So it's sort of like a little bit bigger than a day pack, but the extra space is always handy. The one issue you get into with a larger pack is that the more you want to put into it, so therefore you do, and it becomes very heavy and unwieldy. I do try to keep what I carry in it down to a reasonable minimum. I don't want to carry everything but the kitchen sink. But one of the things that I really look for in a bag when I'm transporting a delicate piece of electronic equipment, and yeah, we all know that the 817, 818 series is fairly rugged, I still want a little bit of padding. So in this particular case with this bag, it's got some padding on the back, which means that, you know what, this first compartment here, this first zippered compartment, that's where I'm going to put the 818 because it's cushioned on the one side, and whatever is in front of it will also cushion it from impacts coming from the front side. So let's just take a quick look inside the bag. I've got some other, of course, I've got some accessories, because when you go portable, you want to make sure you got the stuff you need. So first thing that comes out of here is, and this is in a separate pouch inside the bag, here is my microphone, and this is the SOTA Beams. This is a speech compressor, which the 817, 818 series don't have a built-in speech compressor. I'm still doing some testing with it. I mean, I made a whole bunch of contacts without it previously, but you know, I made a few contacts last night with it, and or sorry, when I say I'm going to retract that, and then sorry, I'm doing this on the cuff here at Field Day. I've made hundreds of contacts without one of these, with an FT-817, and no amplifier, just wire antennas. So I haven't had the opportunity to use this much in the field, but I did get an opportunity last night. This was included when I bought my 817 back off the fellow I sold it to a couple of years back. I haven't really had a chance to use it yet. I used it and no problem making contacts, but was it better or worse? Could I have made those contacts without it? Not sure. I think I'm going to do some future experimentation. Anyway, that first little Ziploc bag contained that, plus it also contains this power pole adapter. And as you can probably see here, these are slide-on jacks, and I'm failing to remember what they're called right now, but these will go onto a battery, onto a battery's terminals, terminating in a power pole. And I did mention the plastic bags. I do like to keep my more important and more valuable stuff in the Ziploc bags, just for waterproof. If I happen to have this stuff out on a picnic table spread out and a sudden rain shower comes along, as long as I've been diligent about putting stuff back in bags, nothing's going to get wet. Okay, so the next bag that comes out, this is my LDG 817 tuner, along with the accompanying, there's an 817 data cable here, which allows the tuner to work in sync in much less manual mode. There's also a PL259 jumper cable. Now I also like to carry a separate additional jumper cable just in case one fails on me in the field. Alright, next thing that's going to come out of this bag is power. So the previous fellow that owned this rig, he bought into a bunch of these talent cell batteries. These are fairly reasonably priced on Amazon. I'm holding in my hand a 3 amp hour, and by the way, it started to rain outside, so you might hear some of that noise in the background. Hopefully my voice is coming over it. The jury's still out on these. I suspect that 3 amp hour rating on these is closer to 2 amp hours, but I've got some further testing to do to really figure that out. Okay, and because I am a believer in duplicating up, I actually went and bought a 6 amp hour version of the same thing. Again, probably suspecting that that this is closer to 4.5 or 5 amp hours. But that's still a pretty good time. With something like this, I could probably operate for 4 hours with an 817. I also, by the way, I also keep spare power cables. I also bring the AC adapter. And the reason for bringing the AC adapter, obviously I'm in the field, I'm not going to be able to recharge this stuff. But all the stuff is together. As long as I keep all the stuff together, I'm not scrambling around looking for my AC adapter. Okay, well, the next thing out, of course, is the 817. I'm a big fan of this soft case. I know guys are into the rails. You know, you can get the 3D printed rails, and you can also get some of the ones that have stands built in, that sort of thing. I love this. It's an extra layer of protection. Doesn't cost a whole lot of money. I think it's about $40 Canadian, a little bit, of course, less in American dollars. But you know what? This is a really nice protective case, and it's kept my 817 in pretty good condition. One of the other things that I've got here is you see this wind camp power pole adapter on the back. I think that's a great idea. Now normally I don't like to buy Chinese stuff, but I did notice when I went looking for one that the soda beams actually sold for double the price of one of the wind camp ones. And I was thinking to myself, you know, I don't mind paying more for North American made or European made, but I'm not going to pay twice as much. So that's why I went with the wind camp. And I don't have the internal wind camp 3 amp hour battery. I might get one of those, but I've got enough of these talent cell batteries, and I don't find them too much of an issue to use as an external product. Okay, I'm just going to pack this this group back in here. Zip it back up. Oh, and by the way, since we're talking about the bag, I got a couple things hanging off this bag. So this is a storm safety whistle. Now I'm in southwestern Ontario. I don't have to worry about wildlife other than maybe raccoons or skunks. But if I'm in a place where there's bears or wolves, this is the loudest whistle. And I didn't blow it very hard there. This is the loudest whistle on the market. They sell them a lot to boaters. It's kind of nice for scaring off wildlife if you need to. One other thing that I've got hanging off here. Hey, check this out. My brother gave me this. This is a Benchmade bug out. What an amazing knife. You know what? You can always use a knife, and that's a really terrific one. Okay, so let's just take a look in the front flap here. There's 2 main compartments. I just showed you the first one. First thing that comes out, I'm going to call this my 817 Fun Destroyer, because it's a 45 watt amplifier. I've never used it in the field yet. I will get around to it at some point. But yeah, the Fun Destroyer for 817. And if you don't understand why I call it the Fun Destroyer, it's because every time I pull out that 817, I want to make QRP contacts. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the whole, hey, we got to add power, we got to add, rather than fix the antenna. And then the remainder of the stuff in here is coax cable and wire antennas. So I'll bring a whole bunch of coax cable, I'll bring wire antennas, a couple of those just in case one doesn't work out or I haven't got space to put one up. I'll bring a shorter option. So there you go, there's my kit. One more thing that's probably of that I think is tremendously important. You know, here I am out here, field day, rain. This is electrical tape. So what this allows me to do is to tape up those coaxial connections at the antenna and further on down if need be. If I need to add an extension, I can do that, and I can wrap it around tightly with all-weather, good quality electrical tape so that moisture doesn't get in there and play havoc with the SWR. So there you go. That's pretty much it for my 817 transport. Please, if you've got ideas, suggestions, things I should pack along that I'm not packing along, if you have something that you've done that's worked very well for you, leave it in the comment below. I'd really love to hear about it. That's all for this time. Thanks for watching. 7-3 from Tracy VE3 TWM. Now it's your turn. Get out of the shack, get outdoors, and get on the air.